For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
A doomsday type of theme which is always appropriate. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'll be hearing from you at 452-2979. That's 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. How are you doing? Particularly if you are in Karakou, Petite Martinique. And that's part of the Tri-Nation, which also includes Grenada. Hello to you as well in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and of course you in St. Lucia and other parts of the world. We are so sorry that we were not there for you yesterday. We just could not have produced a broadcast because of the emergency situation. Some places no electricity, and also we had the announcement by the island's Prime Minister putting the entire nation on a lockdown, so we were inconvenienced by that and a whole lot more. But we are happy to be back today. It's not that we are fair weather friend, just that we certainly could not have produced a broadcast yesterday. Nonetheless, we hope to make up for our absence. We can count ourselves lucky. We can count ourselves fortunate. But I believe that had Hurricane Beryl hit St. Lucia directly, we would have been unprepared for the onslaught. And that's because a few days before the weather system was scheduled to hit St. Lucia, many of us were still in a state of preparedness. because this was manifested in so many people going to the supermarkets and going to the gas stations and clearing trees and debris and all that. It's as if we have not gone through this kind of experience before. I mean, you had Tropical Storm Debbie, you had Allen. Well, many people are alive today. A lot of people, not many, but a lot, would not have experienced Hurricane Allen in 1980. But after that, we have had that experience, and no doubt we are definitely exposed to social media and other outlets that would have provided us with the experience, not directly, but through various videos and so on, and the accounts of other people, what would have transpired in recent years, in particular with Hurricane Ivan in Grenada, Maria over in Dominica, and the experiences of the Bahamas and so on. So we need to definitely get serious in this part of the world in terms of our state of readiness. We've been hearing a lot about climate change and how those storms will be very intense, more intense, and also will be more frequent. So we dodged the bullet, but we need to be prepared. And when I say we, I mean all of us at the level of the community, the private sector, and indeed at the level of the state. We are still realizing that many rivers, many drains were not cleared prior to the passage of that weather system in St. Lucia. So again, we have a lot of work to do, and likewise we need to take climate change seriously. It's not that we can't focus on the other issues, but we need to take climate change seriously. And as the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines stated in a very frustrating manner yesterday in an interview with the international press, that the likes of the United Nations and even developed countries, they need to take the plight of small island states, low-lying nations into consideration, considering that it is those developed countries through their actions that are putting us in this predicament ever so often. So the level of financial support that are being promised to countries like St. Lucia and others to undertake mitigative action, those certainly they need to fulfill that promise. It is a case of many countries in the Caribbean building, trying to recuperate from storms ever so often, and then every time the hurricane season comes along, you have damage being done to those same infrastructural works that would have been undertaken. So it's a case of us making progress in one instance and then suffering severe damage that would put us behind by several years. So on all fronts, there's need for us to take this whole climate change issue seriously, so that we definitely can continue to prosper in one form or the other, and we can ensure that we lessen the impact of those storms in terms of the damage that will be caused on infrastructure, and we protect the lives of our citizens. Talking about the lives of citizens, a couple people would have perished in Petite Martinique, Karakou. We'll be hearing from the Prime Minister of that territory, talking about Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, and we'll be hearing as well from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. The Prime Minister did give the all clear last evening in an address to the nation, stating that certain business activities should resume, in particular government offices and the private sector, from 5 o'clock this afternoon, 5 o'clock this morning, but it did indicate that schools will remain closed until tomorrow, Wednesday. We have a clip of a broadcaster taking issue with this, saying that there would have been damage done in terms of damage to the roads. In some cases, some roads would have been impassable because they were blocked by trees and other debris. And as far as he is concerned, the Prime Minister was ill-advised to report and suggest to the St. Lucian public that the all clear would have taken effect from 5 o'clock this morning. But first, the address to the nation when he made that announcement, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre.
Allow me to update you on the weather situation in our country due to the passage of Hurricane Beryl. I have been informed by the St. Lucia Met Office that at 8 p.m. today, the tropical storm warning for St. Lucia was discontinued. When Beryl first approached St. Lucia, it was a Category 4 hurricane. Over the last 24 hours, we have endured the effects of a downgraded system which still brought strong winds and torrential rains with the resultant flooding, land slippage, and property destruction. This system could have been even more severe on our country, but we were spared this time from possible disaster. Parliamentary reps and the 18 district disaster management committees are actively gathering and relaying information from various constituencies to the National Emergency Operations Center. This data is being collated and evaluated by NEMO for a preliminary assessment of the extent of damage across the island. There are reports of fallen trees, blocked roadways and waterways, outages in water, power and telecommunication services, and widespread damage to banana farms. There is significant damage at the Southefort waterfront and cemetery area, flooding in Labrie, particularly at the crossover park and waterfront areas, and the Viewfort police jetty has been completely destroyed. In the north of the island, there has been landslides and loss of homes in the hospital and Fuasho areas. There has been reports of damaged roofs island-wide and displacements of families in Ansari and Canaries. Please be advised that these are only preliminary assessments by first responders who will report in 48 hours to the National Emergency Operations Center. Meanwhile, from this evening, response crews are on the ground clearing fallen trees, debris, and clogged waterways to allow for ease of movement. Reports reaching us indicated that our sister islands of Grenada, Petite Martinique, Karakou, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines experienced serious damage, and the task of rebuilding will be challenging. We call on all St. Lucians to join when asked to assist the people tomorrow, Tuesday. The Ministry of Education will release the CPEA results on Wednesday. I've instructed that the Ministry of Infrastructure conduct an island-wide assessment of damage to national infrastructure and report to me in 7 days so that the rebuilding efforts can commence. Let us thank God that our country was spared the worst of what could have been a disastrous weather event. I implore you to continue to remain in a state of preparedness, as this is only the beginning of an active hurricane season. My gratitude goes out to the volunteers, first responders, NEMO, the St. Lucia Met Office, and the various state agencies who continue to work throughout the day and night to secure our country. Let us remain vigilant and united as we commence our recovery.
The island's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre delivering an address to the nation last evening as he announced, as he gave the all clear that business activity would resume at 5 o'clock this morning. But one individual expressed disappointment, and he contextualized this by saying that if you had a lot of fallen trees and rains and a lot of roads were blocked, were impassable, therefore why open the island for business at 5 o'clock in the morning when many people have great difficulty in traversing some sections of roads in the nation. Let's hear from Mr. Henix Joseph, Creole broadcaster with Hot FM.
Masa no mwen shy chair masa fa shy bagay mais moi do le moi ça bon matin là mwen ça té là puis le poteau ça tomber là comme ça poteau ça moi scié ten courant dedans parce que plus bas ten courant plus haut ten courant poteau ça et puis le select te ka dit comme ça oui un shy moun couiller te ka dit yo pas ni quoi yo pas ni ci yo pas ni ça mais tout le gouvernement parti dit all clear sorti dehors, yo pas te savourer ces moun yo dehors. So, monsieur Premier ministre, ma sou ka koute moi, mais est-ce que ou ça dit, et puis ni mot et puis ces moun anou dit nous kay ouvert les yonne et ben midi. Laisse ça ou kay bay lo selek et puis ces moun assez temps parce que par distance c'est greda tractor loader tout ça bay ça kay don toyer bon chemin moun ka couper bois c'est trafic et ça on cause plus accident. Monsieur Premier ministre nan donc s'il vous plaît est-ce que ou ça dit comme ça nous kay ouvert yonne et ben yonne et puis bay ces moun qui ka fait ces services essentiels là bay yo en temps pour yo ça non toyer chemin poteau. Est-ce que s'il vous plaît monsieur Premier ministre est-ce qu'on ça fait ça bon s'il vous plaît.
You just heard there from Hot FM's Henix Joseph speaking earlier today. I think that would have been a better decision on the part of the Prime Minister had he decided to give the all clear at about 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. This would have given emergency personnel sufficient time to clear the roads, the likes of Lucelek, among others, so that people would not have to venture out at 5 o'clock this morning and would have to be inconvenienced. Southefort would have been one of the hardest hit communities. Those of you who would have seen some of the footage, the videos and pictures, the waterfront severely impacted by the passage of the storm. I think we have online the MP for Southefort Saint-Jacques, and that is Miss Emma Hippolyte. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you, Miss Emma Hippolyte, MP for Southefort Saint-Jacques. Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Timothy Poleon of NewsSpin. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us on the broadcast. As we speak, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Yes, what is the situation in Southefort as we speak, ma'am?
Well, we have significant damage at the waterfront, at the beach park, in the cemetery, post office, police station, Barron Drive. So the entire waterfront, from one end to the next. Mm-hmm. But the area by the beach park and the cemetery and the section between the police station and the gas station, this area is more damage than Barron Drive, for example. You may recall, I think after one of the hurricanes, the government actually did some stonework at Barron Drive, and we believe that this has sort of protected that community quite a bit.
But if you could just imagine, ma'am, what the damage could have been had we experienced a direct hit by burial.
Well, there you go. So we just have to be thankful, and that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying all the time. That we have to be thankful that we did not get a direct hit, and we have to be thankful that we, so far, as we know, we have no loss of lives.
As far as you're concerned and aware, ma'am, the cleanup operation, how soon you think you could commence this?
We have started the cleanup operation. At the moment, we have all heavy equipment all over the place trying to clear up because we need to move on.
Okay. Well, people directly...
we have people assessing, especially we will need technical persons to assess. Mm-hmm. The two jetties are also damaged. Both jetties are damaged. Well, we will need technical people to help us. But especially for the cemetery, we have called the health department to come and assess and to tell us how to move forward.
What is the situation with the cemetery?
The cemetery, the boats, because in addition to that, quite a few boats are damaged. And what happened, the fishermen in preparation for the storm actually moved their boats out of the water. And we had quite a few boats on into the fisheries complex and other areas close to the cemetery. But this time, because of the nature of the waves actually picked up these boats. And some boats, I think, knocked against the wall of the cemetery and actually brought it down in certain areas. So technically now, the entire half part of the cemetery is covered with fields, sand, and a lot of water. So we need some technical assistance in assessing it because there are a lot of graves there.
Were individuals directly impacted to the extent they would have to be housed in various shelters?
Well, yes, we had a few fishermen in what you call the bullyard. Yes, the structures are impacted, so now they are in a shelter. I think about 8 of them are in shelter at the moment. So we have the NEMO team and volunteers working with them to make them feel comfortable there, and later on to make an assessment as to what we do with them.
Because we've been hearing reports in certain parts of the island that shelters were not opened prior to the passage of the storm. Don't you think that they should be opened before?
In our case, we had one because we made special provision for persons who were homeless, so we had one shelter open. Mm-hmm. So we were able to move persons to that area.
Okay. One of the incident is that we saw videos and footage of people apparently they had in their possession LPG tanks.
Yes, and those tanks were part of it was owned by the fisheries complex. Mm-hmm. They sell gas, as you know, they sell cooking gas as well as gas for fishermen.
Right.
And yes, the water affected the storage area, and what you saw were persons who helped themselves to those tanks. Also, we felt that there was a lot of gas in the water. There was still heavy scent of gas, and as a result of that, Lucilet had to put off the current last night as a form of protection.
You said that people help themselves. Isn't that illegal? Is that looting, basically?
If you look at the video, you could see quite a few persons carrying 20-pound and 22-pound cylinders. It's not theirs. They help themselves with it. It was not theirs. I mean, you would think that if they wanted enough, they would bring it back today.
But do you expect them to bring it back?
Well, I'm hoping they would bring it back.
But because
but I don't think they would. Because if they had it in safekeeping there now, they would have returned it.
Because the video is there, ma'am. It's basically evidence. Should they be
persons who have the tanks walking around with them?
Finally, ma'am, your long-term concern for VA4. Considering for Southefort Forces, considering so many people are living in the shoreline and so on, and you have businesses there, and it's inevitable, considering climate change, that this will happen again. What should be the long-term plan for this constituency?
Well, what we have to do, we have to sit with the technical team and see what are some of the things we have to do to. I mean, we are in that location. What are some of the things that we should not put back where they are? And what are some of the infrastructural work that we have to do to protect? As I see, the work that the government did in Darwin Drive actually seems to have worked for the people of Darwin Drive. You could see the area at the top where there was no stones, the water did significant damage there. So you could see that the rock formation that was made there did provide the protection that was required.
Final comments from you?
It's going to be costly. It's a long waterfront, but we have to do what we have to do.
Final comments from you, ma'am?
What's that?
Final comments? Any final comments from you?
Well, the final comments is that all of St. Lucia, we should be thankful that we had no loss of life. We need to be thankful for that. We need to work together as one country, one people, help each other out, and move on.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
We also need to pay attention to the environmental issues in terms of clearing our drains and preventing not disposing of things in the waterways, things like that. We have to pay a lot more attention to it. Thankfully, we had started doing quite a bit of that before. So, for example, right now, there are more meaning for Shajat. Okay, some of the farmers, some things have, some of the plantains and bananas came down, but the waterways were cleared. So, for the first time, for Shajat did not get the type of damage that they usually get.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for speaking with us on the broadcast.
You are most welcome.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, same to you, ma'am.
Bye.
Just so that from Commerce Minister, she's also the MP for Southefort, and speaking with us in the aftermath of the passage of that storm and the impact it had on that constituency. We continue with your calls right now at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. As we say, good afternoon to you. Kimani, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Tim. Good afternoon. Someone in the chat says, Southefort has nothing to worry about. GPH is here. Another comment, as usual, these ministers are missing the point. It's not about one shelter open for the homeless. The correct disaster preparedness should be to open all shelters before a hurricane. Another comment in the chat, someone says, Bravo team, it's nice to have a minister on your show. This is what St. Lucia needs. It's not election season. We should all come together for the betterment of the island. Another comment, call GPH to reconstruct the beachfront. Another comment, the preparation for hurricane/storm should be continuous effort all year round. The silting of rivers, maintenance of emergency shelters, cutting down of trees in hazardous areas, etc.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Hi, good day, Timothy Poleon.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
I will briefly identify myself as Mistress Melissa Joseph Emmanuel. Tim, good day to you.
Same to you, ma'am.
It has been a lot, but I'm strong and I'm focused. Tim, I had a situation with my husband, and that has nothing to do with nobody other than God. Because when I said I do, it was myself and God. We all know relationships have its ups and downs. People may want their way, they can get their way, but we have to come to an understanding to agree upon certain stuff, right? Tim, can you believe I am rather disappointed with regards to all what's happening? It was very unfortunate for me that I was going to conduct a transaction at Bank of St. Lucia when I noticed a young lady who has actually created, along with my husband's child mother, a whole Facebook page on me on Facebook. I have gone as far as blocking the page to avoid the page, but unfortunately, even if you block somebody on Facebook, Tim, right? There are persons, like the public Facebook or the Facebook person, that would call you and tell you, Mel, I see this about you, I see that about you. The one that really hit me hard is when my sister, who's working abroad, called me. She was really upset. She's like, why is your husband having this woman terrorizing you and saying so many things about my parents on Facebook? You have to understand, Tim, my parents are my sister's parents also, right? Okay, we dealt with that where it was like that thing began where I got a text message from a young lady from Larry Shoes Beaufort who said to me that she is friendly to my husband and she's not leaving my husband for me, and that is her man. As receiving that text message, right, we were in the process, which I said we, my husband and I, was in the process of renewing our wedding vows in grandstand.
No, ma'am, this is a very sensitive issue. I don't know why you want to share this with the rest of the world.
Because I'm very upset as a young lady who has videos leaking about me, audios, and saying that our property belongs to my husband. This is our problem. I'm going to go to a lawyer right now to write Theodora Judge because she doesn't know what she's saying.
Ma'am,
she's going to leak so many audios about me.
I honestly believe that is the right thing to do. Take it to your attorneys.
Right now because I'm so upset. And this is not something my husband is doing. She's so involved.
I think you're very upset, very emotional, and therefore you are not likely to make the right. You're not likely to make the right decision. Yeah, ma'am.
Tim, I'm so upset that you will get blood from me. I'm so upset, Tim. Because it's why all these people involved in themselves in whatever concern them. And I'm going to deal with Theodora Judge immediately. I'm going to my attorney immediately. Tim, I'm upset.
Okay, ma'am.
You cannot leak so many false lies about things. Why is she sitting in that?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, certainly that is not an issue that we should be airing on this broadcast. As you said, this is a matter that you should deal with your attorney. And sometimes when we allow emotions to get the better of us, then we tend to be very reckless and act in a very irresponsible manner. That is certainly unwise. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. That's the danger, Kimani, of saying we discuss all issues and news and all matters of concern to you. But she got something off her chest, but I think it was not something that was appropriate to do. Take issues of that nature to your attorney. But sometimes we go through our trials, we go through our challenges in life.
We want to vent.
And we just want to vent, and that is very unfortunate. But I hope by just speaking out on this issue, we're not taking sides. Certainly it would have gotten her to think a lot clearer. You know, the fact that she vented on the air, but certainly that was not the wisest thing to do. Comments in the chat room, Kimani.
Well, someone in the chat is advising just leave the man for her. Another comment in the...
There was a program on Power 97 in the afternoon, right? That's right. What's the name of the show?
Dirty Gossip?
Yeah, the Dirty Gossip. Yeah, that's right.
So what, she should contact the Dirty Gossip to what their views on this situation?
Maybe she should.
Maybe. Someone says, NewsSpin turn like Denial 106.7 from Love Story to FM, Love Story Today. Someone did say, actually, this episode is for the Dirty Gossip show this afternoon. Another comment, someone says, okay, I think we need a wharf instead of the jetty in Southefort. Another comment in the chat, someone says, GPH will pay for the gas tanks, or that's part of the secret deal.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. I think it's on the landline. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
And good afternoon to you, Kimani, as well.
Good afternoon.
And also a special good afternoon for every St. Lucian that survived this tropical summer hurricane. Team, I know it's not only the lady that called your program turned to a free sum, but then I mean, the other time you have to vent it out, team. Because I got to say, like a show, you have to say it. Team, the comment you make by Mr. Hennigs, you know I support that comment. Because I said to myself this morning, I tell my son, they said there's no school, so ministry already said I'm not going to send you to school. But when my daughter tell me this, they have to work, I'm like, seriously, what about the state of the road? Because you have branches, even as I'm speaking to you there, team, there is an electric pole that just break in 2 pieces by True Value right there in Beaufort. I'm just there now. And it creating a serious traffic problem there. That is just by True Value opposite Il Pirata there. And you will losing a cruiser there, they are handling it, but then vehicle have to at least pass, you so narrow close to the airport fence because of the traffic to avoid that thing, all the wires and everything. They cruise on it right now. I mean, these are things that we need to take care of before we just go and give an all. Well, I'm not saying an all clear in terms of person might want to venture out, but then for workers right now to go to work, and a lot of some of the roads are not in the best of condition. We're talking about person who live all the way to Beaufort to go Castries every morning to work, I mean, on buses. I mean, we need to be considerate a bit. In the jetty completely, as I'm seeing it there, Beaufort where the FSU Coast Guard base is like completely right off. So they might have to be, the Americans might have to build a new one for them. So there's a lot of disaster in that, particularly in that Beaufort area. I don't know whether, I mean, I know usually after a storm you have crews, a person with the camera crews, and they are having photos and even send it to, you know, maybe to other stations to see the state of some areas, because it's not every area, team, that is hit like some other places. I know by my place there's a huge coconut tree that fell on my uncle's house, completely flattened it, a plywood house. And lucky he was not in the house. And most times, team, when you have report, you tell person, but like I say, you need to cut your coconut tree because it's stretching over the boundary on my house. No, they want to go to police and everything. Right now, who's paying for the damage? These are the things that St. Lucian we need to understand when something is affecting somebody. Because you would not want to pay when you destroy the person out because you say it's not you, it's Mother Nature. But why you don't allow the person to cut it? At least to avoid the damage. So a lot of things in Team as St. Lucia, we not cooperate. We just completely not cooperate with each other. It's only after the thing happen, then we all over the place. You know, if we did do that, it would have not do this if we had do that. And we know very well the focus already saying it. Prepare ourselves for a rough ride. There's more to come. But thanks God we were spared a little bit. And just for the time being, I would say thanks God. But they always telling me St. Lucia is, oh, the Christian nation, a Christian nation. But in the midst of all of that, somebody see nothing to do is to go and kill somebody. When we are getting prepared, people are praying, but you still have gunmen out there want to go and kill each other. This is another sad story again. But anyway, let me say thank you to everybody, including myself. Thanks God. So that we still have live team and you have it abundantly. You can report to that studio and do your program, you and Kimani. Have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much. Still to come on the broadcast, the plight of our brothers and sisters over in Karakou, Petite Martinique. Karakou, just some 12 square miles, population of about 10,000. Petite Martinique, 0.9 of a square mile, population 900. But definitely the extent of the damage done to them cannot be calculated at this point in time, whether they're talking about emotionally or financially. Imagine a storm at category 4, that's Hurricane Beryl, bearing down on your home, on your country, 150 miles per hour. And as we speak, an assessment is being made of the situation there. We'll be hearing from Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell in just a bit. You'll be hearing from our own Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. He says, climate change keeps me up all night. And of course, there's a political twist to this. And we'll be hearing from a professor with regard to the treatment meted out to opposition political parties, and when it matters most, the fact that governments normally call on those same opposition political parties to unite with them for the betterment of the entire country. In such circumstances, the passage of a hurricane would necessitate governments and opposition political parties working together. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin.
Understanding the financial impact of job loss, First National Bank offers job loss insurance, specially designed to provide our customers support during such uncertain times. In the event you lose your job, coverage provides a financial cushion, easing your worries while helping you navigate career transitions. This coverage ensures that a job loss doesn't have to mean a financial crisis, providing you with the support that you need when you need it most. We are committed to standing by our customers in all of life's ups and downs. Our job loss insurance is more than just a policy. It's a promise of support, offering peace of mind and financial stability, ensuring that you can face career challenges without the added burden of financial stress. First National Bank, here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
When you feel the vibes and the music sweet, KFC on the road giving you the beat. One sandwich, so chicken fries in your hand, a drink to go, best deal in the line. Food for the road.
Enjoy Food for the Road this carnival. For only $30, you get 2 pieces of chicken, 1 sandwich, 1 regular fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce soda. But that's not all. There's more. When you purchase this offer, you get a chance to win carnival costumes, event tickets, KFC vouchers, and more. This carnival season, get your KFC Food for the Road.
Food for the road.
It's finger licking good.
Oi, shh. Vintanza. The carnival spirit just enter Europe hardware, you know, and they are slashing prices as much as 15% off. Imagine, still FS 120 and FS 235 brush cutter, now at 15% discount. What? But it's true, you know. The people say, keep the sale going, and Europa say,
okay, let's do this.
I just come from there and I saw it with my own two eyes. Everything with a green tag is priced to go. Welding machines, steam cleaners, vacuum cleaners, pressure washers, power generators, just to name a few.
No, Missy, I jump in on now and now.
Visit Europa in Massad or call us at 452-0763. Europa, we service what we sell.
St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, St. Vincent and Grenadines. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup Super 8s are loading. Come see boundary-breaking, history-making matchups. Who will make it to the semifinals? Get your tickets early at your local box office or at tickets.t20.com. It's going to be out of this world. For more information on Super 8 match fixtures, go to t20worldcup.com.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Get your accommodation ready for the event season. Jazz, T20 cricket, and of course, St. Lucia Carnival with hot showers powered by a tropical solar water heater. We offer a variety of sizes for any house, apartment, or hotel, and efficient installation within 24 to 48 hours of purchase. Call us today to find out what specials we have in store for you. With 3 convenient locations in Beaufort, 454-6344, Castries, 453-1868, or Grosley, 450-8201. Tropical Solar, good for the environment, good for you.
Discover the future of body imaging innovation at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. From the intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, ask about our flexible financing options, including our copay system for clients with health care.
Attention shoppers, the Tile Mania sale is happening now. For a limited time, save 25% off all tiles, plus up to 40% off on selected tiles at the Tile Gallery, located inside all MNC, Home Depot, and Sunbelt locations. Whether you're renovating your kitchen, updating your bathroom, or adding a stylish touch to any room, we've got the perfect tiles for you. Visit the Tile Gallery at your nearest MNC, Home Depot, or Sunbelt today and take advantage of the Tile Mania sale. That's 25% off on all tiles, plus 40% off on selected tiles. It's the Tile Mania sale at the Tile Gallery, happening now. Terms and conditions may apply. See in-store.
Caribbean Pastouche Limited. We offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
And now an update from Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell on the situation over in Karakou, Petite Martinique. That update was given at about just after 10 o'clock this morning.
It is day one after the passage of Hurricane Beryl, and as a nation we are coming to grips with the reality of the devastation that the Category 4 hurricane has wreaked over Grenada, and in particular over Karakou and Petite Martinique, which bore the brunt of the passage of Hurricane Beryl as the eye of the hurricane passed directly over Karakou and Petite Martinique. Since yesterday afternoon, we've had very little communication with Karakou and Petite Martinique. It was not until this morning that I was able to speak with Minister Tevin Andrews by satellite phone. The situation is grim. There is no power. There's almost complete destruction of homes and buildings on the island. The roads are not passable, and in many instances they're cut off because of the large quantity of debris strewn all over the streets, and obviously the danger posed by dung power lines. Minister Andrews has tentatively reported at least 2 deaths as a result of the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The possibility that there may be more fatalities remains a grim reality, as movement is still highly restricted. Because of the fact that completely destroyed, it is difficult to get fuel to even if it is heavily restricted. The Met Office still has in place a marine advisory against small craft, and so although we had planned at 6 a.m. for both Coast Guard craft to depart to Karakou, we have not been able to do so as yet because of that marine advisory. And so the Coast Guard is delayed in terms of it being able to get to Karakou because of the marine advisory. We expect the advisory to be relooked at midday today, and then for helicopters, because even if we land at the Lauriston Airport, until the roadways are cleared, movement within Karakou itself will still be severely restricted. So that is the immediate update in relation to Karakou and Petite Martinique.
Just heard there from Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell speaking earlier today, giving an update on the impact of Hurricane Beryl on Karakou, Petite Martinique. He said that at least 2 people might have perished, and the suspicions are that it could end up being more. There's a possibility that more people perished as a result of the passage of the storm, but an assessment will determine whether that is true or not. So let us show you, we'll show you in just a bit some footage of the impact of the storm on Karakou. Those of you, we just played right now, those of you who are watching on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on the YouTube channel. It's very devastating, and will allow you to listen to the fury of the storm. What you're hearing is a devastation caused by the fury of Hurricane Beryl, taking its toll on Karakou, Petite Martinique. Definitely, we need to count our blessings because we did not experience half of what those people went through during the course of the passage of that weather system yesterday. The recovery effort will take a whole lot, and the Prime Minister Mitchell has been calling on Caribbean community countries to provide him with the requisite assistance, and we've heard the Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre pledging that some level of support will be provided. I think he is scheduled to meet with his counterparts, maybe via Zoom, that's Prime Minister Mitchell, during the course of today, and that is to plan the way forward. Imagine this week, the Caribbean community, CARICOM, is scheduled to convene the heads of government meeting over in Grenada. That certainly is not possible. We'll be hearing from Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre in just a moment. At a pre-cabinet press briefing a fortnight ago, he made reference to climate change, but he had to inject the politics there. We'll be hearing from him in just a bit. Let's continue for calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And of course, let's take a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Yes, John Thomas Hammond.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
What's in your mind?
I'm good. I want to touch on a couple points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to touch on this Hurricane Beryl issue, right?
Yeah.
Just want to make a couple points. I mean, a couple years ago, the IMF would have proposed to most of our Caribbean governments to begin investing in climate resilient infrastructure. I haven't seen a lot of that happening because basically the way politics run in these islands, all these contractors that we are using for this infrastructure is this wet your foot and come. I have to give a friend of mine a job, and that's who's getting the job. We need to engage professionals, professional engineers, professional consultants, architects to design climate resilient infrastructure that's going to last for the next 80 to 100 years. You build in a bridge, you build in a road, you build in a pathway, you build in a building, whatever you do in a culvert, it has to go through a process that is going to be resilient, that we don't keep throwing money into the same thing every year. Okay? That's one of the biggest problems we have. And the IMF has already proposed that to our governments. But you know what? I'm going to give my friend that job instead. Okay? Who has no experience in building. Okay? Nobody's testing. There's no testing done on the strength of concrete, on vibrating, on the reinforcement that goes in. It's like everything is designed, built. The engineers walk away and let the guys do what they feel like. So every year there's a bridge floating down, there's a seawall floating and going into sea. You saw it yesterday. You saw exactly what happened. I could tell you clearly, safely. I have worked on 4 projects on the Southefort waterfront, and I stood there yesterday and watched all them stand up. The seawalls in Barons Drive and culverts, the fisheries from Mirai Construction next to the cemetery, a jetty by the Hummingbird, and the gas station on the waterfront. All of them must stand. I was just watching them stand because they went through the proper processes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are asking the government again. We are dealing with category 4 and 5 hurricanes. We know of climate change, but yet still, the shelters are category 1 designed. That can't make sense. In this day and age, we should be designing shelters or upgrading the shelters we're using to preserve people's lives. You can't send people to a shelter that you're not even sure that roof is going to stand up, right? So people go into churches and to schools, and the roofs are taking off. We were lucky we were spared, but I could guarantee it ain't going to be for long, because This climate change is real, and the government's responsible for making sure whether they're using a school, a church, a community center, these are upgraded to withstand Cat 5 winds. I mean, look at Miami. Miami deals with hurricanes every year. There's a code in Miami, the Dade County spec, on windows and doors and everything else. And even with that, they still get flattened down all the time. We need to get serious. If we cannot afford to house people during a storm or hurricane, we need to improve the building codes, okay, to make out the houses, the homes that we live in, more resilient to hurricanes. Somebody to inspect and make sure that people ain't just building, that somebody's inspecting and make sure the thickness of concrete is right on the roof slabs, the right reinforcement goes in. If we're using rafters, that is tied. I mean, when Montserrat went through I think it's Hurricane Hugo years ago, the entire building code was changed. Everybody using a 1x3 or a 2x3 on the roof. They changed that code to a 2x4, and they specified the centers they wanted that to go on. They specified the screws, the spacings of the screws on there, the way it was connected to the beams, right? We have to look at the building codes, and we also have to upgrade the facilities that we propose. We call in hurricane shelters for our people to be safe. And you can't just throw people in a school. You can't just throw people in a church, because if you have 500 people in a church, they have to be able to have proper facilities to eat, cooking facilities to shower, to sleep, to use a bathroom. But I mean, look at the state of these facilities, and government tell me they're serious about climate change and calling these things shelters. That's a joke. That's a joke. We have to invest in proper shelters. Okay? We have to.
And Category 5 storms would be 155 to 160 miles per hour. And this is no longer something that we can imagine, because we are increasingly experiencing those. For example, when you tell me that the projection is, or the prediction is, we can experience at least 4 to 7 major storms, 4 to 7 major storms, when normally the average is about 3 during the hurricane season. So definitely we have a lot of work to do in that regard, and the governments must cease calling on members of the public to make the necessary preparations while they themselves are ignoring that same recommendation that they're making.
Exactly. And that's across the Caribbean, eh?
Yeah.
That's across the Caribbean.
Yes.
None of the shelters are at a standard that could actually house people. Because if you look at the shelters that were in Karakou, they had no roof. They didn't have no roofs. Even Sten Kitts, I know a few years ago after the hurricane, their codes changed. People have timber roofs on, but they carry concrete slabs beneath the concrete roofs. So the slabs, the metal sheets and the rafters were actually cosmetic. But either they had a safe room, so the codes changed to at least have a safe room in that house, whether it's one bedroom with a concrete slab, one room which is a safe room, or a bathroom, somewhere someone could go in to hide, that will house your documents and hide your kids and your stuff. Whether you choose to do a timber roof, I think you need to incorporate safe rooms in every single house. The codes need to change because climate change is real.
But even though you change the codes, the building codes, let's say in St. Lucia, we all set regulations just to break them, and you have sometimes some influential people who will turn a blind eye to this. I'm referring there, and I'm sorry about that, but we have to make reference to the DCA, the Development Control Authority. They turn a blind eye to so many infractions where regulations are violated, and it depends on who does it. Okay, the small man who builds a house in a particular area and would have not adhered to certain regulations, that person will be called upon to put a halt to their project, compared to other individuals.
Exactly. But the real devil's in this, because come on, I mean, we're talking about 2024, and the codes have never been amended. Okay, we have the drawings go through a process. But who's monitoring it?
Yeah.
What are you monitoring? I'll tell you what. I'm presently dealing with an issue. I have a piece of land somewhere in the north. and somebody built a house next to it, and the house basically the setbacks from the roof. Nobody, the building officer never went to inspect it. The house is practically hanging over my property.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a piece of empty property that I have not done anything with for years. It's sitting there. I went there last year and realized, hey, this thing is hanging over the boundaries, and who's taking responsibility for that? We have building officers who don't even go and do the job. You're telling me kids that live in school and they ain't have work for them? They ain't have no work for them? And we overwhelmed with 3 or 4 building officers in the area or something in it throughout the whole island, and things like that just happen. You understand what I'm saying? We need to be serious, or else people are going to lose their lives. If anything like that hit St. Lucia yesterday, it would be different. The last thing I want to touch on, this what you call it, which the Prime Minister, which is your, what you call it, the when you're allowed to get out after a storm. What does he call it?
The passes or something?
I don't know what you're referring to. When you're given the outline, when you're given the outline,
you're all clear. You're all clear. As far as I'm concerned, all clear in most countries are supposed to be almost like something that is legally enforced. Because, I mean, yesterday morning...
And when you have a lockdown, right? You're referring to the Auckland, the lockdown. You're right.
Lockdown. So basically, at 6 o'clock in the morning, people are out there pulling boats. You endanger in your life, and you endanger in the life of other people who come to help you. Plus, you're looking at maybe a family may come and help you and lose his life trying to help you. Unless the police, the fire department, gives that all clear, nobody should be on that road. Nobody, because property would never be the value of a life. And I looked at that Southefort situation yesterday, and I'll tell you what, we have an all clear, was supposed to be 5 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
But yesterday, everybody was stealing gas cylinders. People should be in their homes. I see guys pulling boats in there, they're about to get squeezed. And all the islands do the same thing. Because it's not enforced. You ask yourself, where the laws? Who's enforcing the law? Who's guarding the guards? Man, everything's like wash your foot and come in St. Lucia. Nobody, everybody have a phone and everybody feeling it to do footage of it. Fine, the footage is fine. But what? We have to respect the law. And all clear means that it should be the Prime Minister, okay, or the essential services that say, I consult with the Prime Minister and say, okay, the road is clear. It's safe for people to get out. But I don't see that happening. We need to be serious about what's happening, because climate change is serious, and that's coming. Unfortunately, the small islands are the vulnerable islands, but we're not the West and the powerful nations are the one who actually created the problem, because the small islands and I know factories, and I know don't have the cars that put in the smog on the atmosphere. We're not the ones cutting the forest. We're not the ones cutting the Amazon, right? But we are the ones that we located in the Atlantic Ocean, and that's where the hurricanes form. And we are always going to be vulnerable. We are always going to be in the path of hurricanes. That's not going to change. So we have to change our plan to survive this. It's a kind of do or die right now. Yeah.
All right, sir.
That's all I want to see right now.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Much appreciated. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin in a bit. More of your calls and your WhatsApp messages, and we'll be hearing from Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640, or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely. First National Bank acknowledges the significance and accountability associated with vehicle ownership. For this reason, we have partnered with leading insurers to provide our vehicle loan customers with motor vehicle insurance that is not only comprehensive but also affordable. Policies cover a wide range of scenarios, ensuring that whether it's a minor mishap or a major accident, you're protected without the worry of financial strain. This insurance is designed to integrate seamlessly into your lifestyle, safeguarding your journey without adding to your financial burdens. Our preferential rates are part of our commitment to ensuring that every customer can drive with peace of mind. We believe that safety on the road is a necessity, not a luxury. With First National Bank, you're not just a customer, you're part of a community that values your safety and financial well-being. First National Bank, here for you.
St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup Super 8s are loading. Come see boundary-breaking, history-making matchups. Who will make it to the semifinals? Get your tickets early at your local box office or at tickets.t20.com. It's going to be out of this world. For more information on Super 8 match fixtures, go to t20worldcup.com.
Oi, shh, Vintanza. The carnival spirit just enter Europe, how do you know? And they are slashing prices as much as 15% off. Imagine, still FS 120 and FS 235 brush cutter, now at 15% discount. What? But it's true, you know. The people say, keep the sale going, and Europa say,
okay, let's do this.
I just come from there and I saw it with my own two eyes. Everything with a green tag is priced to go. Welding machines, steam cleaners, vacuum cleaners, pressure washers, power generators, just to name a few.
No mistake, I jump in on now and now.
Visit Europa in Massad or call us at 452-0763. Europa, we service what we sell.
When you feel the vibes and the music sweet, KFC on the road giving you the beat. One sandwich, so chicken fries in your hand. A drink to go, best deal in the line. Food for the road.
Enjoy Food for the Road this carnival. For only $30, you get 2 pieces of chicken, 1 sandwich, 1 regular fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce soda. But that's not all. There's more. When you purchase this offer, you get a chance to win carnival costumes, event tickets, KFC vouchers, and more. This carnival season, get your KFC Food for the Road.
It's finger licking good.
Discover the future of body imaging innovation at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. From the intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, ask about our flexible financing options, including our co-pay system for clients with health care.
Get your accommodation ready for the event season. Jazz, T20 cricket, and of course, St. Lucia Carnival with hot showers powered by a tropical solar water heater. We offer a variety of sizes for any house, apartment, or hotel, and efficient installation within 24 to 48 hours of purchase. Call us today to find out what specials we have in store for you. With 3 convenient locations in Beaufort, 454-6344, Castries, 453-1868, or Grosley, 450-8201. Tropical Solar, good for the environment, good for you.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastuche Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, casting sand and plastering sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastuche Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastuche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
And now the Prime Minister of St. Lucia speaking a fortnight ago during a pre-cabinet press briefing on the subject of climate change.
You see all the noise happening? That's not what concerns me. What concerns me one day is to get up one morning and to find a hurricane has struck St. Lucia and then our infrastructure has been. That's what concerns me. That's what could concern all politicians who have the welfare of the country at heart. What can we do? How can we advise people not to throw stuff in the rivers, not to cut trees unnecessarily, not to take these practices, these legal practices, littering, so that we can't block our waterways? That's what I want the politicians to get involved in. Because you know what all of us fighting for? One morning, we may get up and find there is nothing to fight over. There's nothing to fight over, So what are we fighting about? Creating all kind of confusion. If we do not get together on that matter, and I'm literally begging the opposition on the climate matter, let's get together. That's when I'll talk to them. Climate matters, we have a discussion on Mindufile Park, or even on the boulevard. Climate matters. That is my biggest concern, my biggest concern. That one morning I may get up and there may be no country to manage. It happened already. I saw it in Dominica. I mean, I was speaking to the Prime Minister on the phone, and he said to me that he's expecting some rain. The Prime Minister of Dominica is expecting some rain, right? And then in the same conversation, he tells to me, hold on, my roof is going. I mean, that's the experience I'll never forget. We were speaking on the phone about expecting some rain. The next moment, his roof was going. And the rest is history. So that's what I want. I want you to ask the politicians in the opposition, right, that what they're fighting for might be wiped out if we have hurricanes. Let's get together on that one. Please.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre speaking a fortnight ago during a pre-cabinet press briefing, and he says the only matter he wants to engage the opposition on is climate change related issues. But one can recall that the opposition has provided many recommendations to the Prime Minister with regard to the crime situation on Island, and he has failed to engage them on this. I don't know how anyone, including a Prime Minister, can politicize climate change. I just don't understand how the Prime Minister of this country has the capacity to do that. But that clearly is an issue not to be politicized, and the fighting that is taking place would involve, not only now, but previously would involve governments and opposition political parties. So maybe they don't see this as something that is sufficiently important for them to meet and dialogue on. More than that, the Prime Minister, as the leader of the country, has to lead the charge on climate change. And in my estimation, he has not done that. And charity begins at home. And it should start in the Castries East constituency, which he has represented since 1997. But let's listen to a regional academic, and that is Professor Cynthia Barrow-Giles, in March of 2023, delivering a professorial lecture. I remember I did play a clip last week where she said that despite a political party winning an election, there is always need for the government of the day to embrace the opposition as far as the nation-building effort is concerned. And she makes a point in light of the experience of the passage of Hurricane Beryl and the need, you were hearing from the Prime Minister as well, the need for there to be consensus on how the likes of St. Lucia should cope with climate change. And she makes reference to the need to be consistent in terms of always trying to solicit the assistance of opposition political parties.
One of the issues that we certainly need to focus on is the issue of the opposition. You can't exclude the opposition from a process and really expect the opposition to then turn around and support you, to rally the troops at the end of the day to tell them to support even what in the opinion may be in the best interests of the country. One of the issues that we certainly need to focus on is the issue of the opposition. You can't exclude the opposition from a process and really expect the opposition to then turn around and support you, to rally the troops at the end of the day to tell them to support even what in the opinion may be in the best interests of the country.
Delivering a professorial lecture, that's Professor Cynthia Barrow-Giles in March of 2023. Still to come on the broadcast, Invader is in the roti business. But let's continue with your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Kimani, what's in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone says, Tim, how is Tyson? How is Tyson, Tim?
I have not gotten an update, but I hope to get one before the conclusion of the week.
Someone says, Beryl came to mash up the Bum Bum Wall. And I actually responded saying that you would be in tears if that actually happened. I imagine you would be, your favorite part of St. Lucia Carnival.
I would, Kimani. Teasing me.
Another comment, we need to take building our home schools and buildings hurricane, tornado, and earthquake resilient. Another comment, caller, you are so correct. Money under the table, that's what's happening. Someone else says the average person cannot afford to build. Good contribution, caller, referring to John. Someone says we must have standard building codes. Another comment, and those contractors must be approved by the IMF or the CDB.
WhatsApp message, we're going back to an old St. Jude's with the roof not designed for a hurricane. Yes, this is progress.
Someone says schools closed, but parents have to work. Make that make sense, SMH.
Another comment, I'm living at De Risso or De Rameau, Monchi. In a community, we don't have an emergency shelter. If cause of anything, we have to run to Rivière Mitan or Monchi, which is very far from De Rameau.
Another comment, in spite of our misdemeanors, we are indeed a blessed country. Someone says all Caribbean nations should assist where needed. A YouTube comment, we don't learn from our mistakes. They only find excuses and more excuses. People's lives in this country don't matter. Someone says, Tim, you should have a NewsSpin dating app and IPA should be the moderator. That would make for a good TV show. Someone says, this is not climate change. This is cleanup time on Earth's surface. It's a natural cycle. Someone says, Tim needs a second show. Tim Springer Show. Another comment, the preparation for hurricanes was short. I think I read that earlier. Another comment, you have to instruct more. Isn't there a procedure in place? So if you didn't instruct, they wouldn't. Someone says, Nemo, when last did you update the list of our hurricane shelters? How equipped are you for a natural disaster? And another comment, finally, someone says the government and Nemo's response was a failure to Hurricane Beryl.
452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And let's see if we can get a call. Yes, we have a call. Good afternoon to you. You're on the air.
Mr. Poleon, good afternoon, boss.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Boy, I Poleon, right? A couple of days.
Yes, you haven't called a couple of days, yes.
Yeah. Mr. Poleon, what I'm doing...
And before you continue, by the way, I have something to say to the audience regarding Tyson. I have an update to share with you. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, Mr. Poleon, what did this do? Anything bad?
No, nothing at all.
Okay. But Mr. Poleon, I got that now. Before we came on Power Net, I've been saying two things, and I show you can very quick for that.
Mm-hmm.
One, Mr. Poleon, I've been seeing when they did the warning for Hurricane Storm, whatever it is,
people supposed to take heed and warning. Do not go outside and see me going. But Mr. Poleon, it happening still up to this day. Try go in there, they want to go and see me going, putting people life in danger and also the main person in danger. I saw for how we both singing going and water there. Now Mr. Poleon is trying to put laws together. I mean, knock laws to arrest those that's supposed to be at their home and that they see me going, because it can happen to you during a hurricane, right?
Yeah.
Is that so, Mr. Poleon?
Mm-hmm. Should be.
Now, Mr. Poleon, number 2. I don't remember years ago, Mr. Poleon, I said it was wrong. Everyone, it was wrong for floor to go into the first they do there to have modem and all that party show, and they don't have direct lines. Because Mr. Poleon, two people that died home there during the passage or the thing, but you didn't go through it. The people have what fixed line or the kids, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Their cell phone. Say, go home, killer. Go because go with the phone. Modem off, the fixed line off. When before we used to have, when you go to Poleon, we used to have fixed line working. Now, tell God that one fell in the road that he is crying and it's boring. That will help out and bring a hard on, because the no fixed line because of the shit they do now and the modem nonsense. So I think we should now, or the police should ask for the reverse. Bring back our fixed line, whether we get that current so select, or if we're working. How many people have cell phones in this country that can work without, the current? Tell me.
Yeah, many people do have.
Yes, but people have the fixed line and they don't go nowhere. They can't work, they will share. And that is the thing they have, the disadvantage people have, because when the current go, it's connected to the modem and balcony, below WhatsApp. The people can die our workout. So after being slow, and we see that the pain that source,
okay, so thank you so much. That's an issue that you have been highlighting for quite some time. Kimani, what is in the chat room? In just a moment, once again, an update on that famous K9, that's Tyson, and also Invader, Calypsonian Invader, is now in the roti business.
In the chat room, someone says, look how many troughs and hurricanes that came our way and we managed to build back and bounce back. We are destined to survive in our country. Let's love each other, stop the crime, open our hearts, help the fortunate, see love, not hate. God is sparing us from the worst. Another comment in the chat, guys, give PJP the win for God saving the island. PJP lives to fight another day. Another comment, so if the government is serious, they should not go back to the old hospital building. This is why the new hospital building is the best and right way to go. Let's see what else. Every year the Caribbean goes through a cleansing. And someone says, Kimani, you read that? So what do parents do during summer, Christmas, or Easter holidays? Someone says, we're blessed in St. Lucia. God loved St. Lucia. We have to stop the crime. Let's see what else in the chat room. You should have listened to us, and we would be working together in unison for our country. It's not about color or party. It's about our people and country. Tim is making me laugh. Shop number 1. But that's it for me, Tim.
Thank you so much. So somebody just requested an update on this famous dog forming the K9 unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, framed there to Tyson. My information is that Tyson should have been by now in the possession of the police. And there's scheduled to be a special ceremony today to hand over Tyson to the authorities, but that had to be postponed.
Okay.
That is the latest on Tyson, the lone member of the K9 unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. That's 716-2026. And let me see if I have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Somebody says, PJP, the togetherness starts in the Parliament of St. Lucia. Another person says, Tim, why is that speed bump sleeping policeman by Harbour Club? They need to remove it and place it by Jean-Marie in place of the pedestrian crossing where the children were hit. And let's see there. Let's take one call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm okay. What's on your mind?
It's just on the
What's on your mind?
Yeah, what's on my mind is going to the agriculture section. You know, I just want to know what more should happen, you know, in connection with what is happening, the hurricanes, the storm, the droughts, you know, that to send the clear message to those banana farmers, you know, to tell them to quit, you know, because every time, you know, these hurricanes and whatever phenomenon that takes place, right, you get a number of trees, you know, or the bulk of the banana trees are fallen. I took a 5-minute drive, you know, away from my home, and to see the amount of banana trees, you know, I think there's a place where you can see the whole perimeter of the area where bananas are planted. You know, I've been talking about this a long time, you know, and then, you know, people wouldn't hear especially about the diversification. I remember Sir John spoke about diversification. He only spoke about it, but he should have started, you know, the diversification project, right, to cause those farmers to diversify. But they are stuck in the bananas, and look at what is happening. Every time something happens, right, and government also, right, and I suspect, you know, especially with these high officials, I'm talking about both sides of government, that maybe they're benefiting, maybe they're happy when you see these hurricanes and droughts and these things, you know, when you see banana trees fall and they have to pay farmers. Maybe I suspect maybe some sort of people is benefiting from that, because they're supposed to lead the way into diversification and they are not doing anything, right? I have been in this crop business now, you know, you know what crop, right, for 12-14 years. And 12-14 years ago, I mean, the amount of hurricane, storm, drought, and it has not affected me one bit. I've been producing. The only reason I cannot expand is predial larceny. Predial larceny is my biggest issue in producing, and I wish there was no predial larceny. I would lead by example, but I can only produce on a small scale, and I've never been affected, whether it be drought, you know, hurricane, storm, or whatever. Even what past day, I have 1,000 trees. Not one single tree was affected, right? And I have lots of pineapples coming up for the off-season. I usually produce in the off-season on a small scale. You know, when will these farmers ruin, you know? I mean, every time there's something, the amount of banana trees that are being...
Okay, so you're suggesting they should totally abandon the banana industry?
Diversify. I mean, there's a number of crops that could withstand whatever phenomena they throw at it. Like, I know for sure, pineapple is one of them. Right? I have never been affected, you know. I don't even worry about when you see these things coming about, this hurricane and drought, you know. I'm not bothered, right? And while this is the way they should go, they have a number of crops that could withstand all the things. And it is high time, you know, agriculture be back where it used to be. You know, this idea of government having to be paying this and paying farmers that, this is crap, you know.
Okay, Colin.
These farmers are supposed to be paying.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your point of view with us. Certainly, individual who would like to speak on agriculture in general, suggesting that farmers should diversify. I don't think we could turn our back on the banana industry. We definitely need it. Whatever we can produce to export and for local consumption, certainly we need to continue to produce that fruit. Somebody says, Luke Tyson bites some people during that handover. I hope certain ministers and acquaintances are not in attendance. Any more comments in the chat room before we conclude, Kimani?
Someone says, another thing, I saw a video, I don't remember which country, but I noticed the farmers planting trees between the banana trees to give them support and to block the bananas from falling. I think it was Indonesia. Another comment, someone says, cocoa is another way to go. Someone says, we need our bananas. And another comment, but call a market for the fruit. That's it.
Thank you so much. Our question of the day, NewsSpin question of the day. How would you describe St. Lucia's level of preparedness for burial? How would you describe St. Lucia's level of preparedness for burial? And our NewsSpin news of the day. Swedes take a new step in parental leave. Grandparents can now get paid to take care of grandkids. Swedes take a new step in parental leave. Grandparents can now get paid to take care of grandkids. The NewsSpin news of the day. And now, Invader is now in the roti business.
Roti, strictly rotis, we're going to be reopening very soon.
Really?
Yes, and we're going to be our outlet will be at the Bido Park. That's where the print tree used to be.
Right.
We just set up those nice vendors malls. I have one of these
you
booths.
have one there.
Number 1.
All right.
Yeah, my booth is number 1, and it's going to be Papa's Kaiso Corner. Papa's Kaiso Corner, roti, strictly rotis. We're going to be reopening very soon.
Really?
Yes, and we're going to be our outlet will be at the Bido Park. That's where the print tree used to be.
Right.
We just set up those nice vendors malls. I have one of these
you
booths.
have one there.
Number 1.
All right.
Yeah, my booth is number 1, and it's going to be Papa's Kaiso Corner.
Yeah, so Papa, Invader is now in the roti business. Check him around the Bido Park there. Those new outlets that were constructed by the Castries Constituencies Council. What I like about this exchange with Tony Paul of Rev Up St. Lucia is when Tony said, really? Really? All right. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin. Have yourself an enjoyable and a safe day. Join us tomorrow afternoon, 12:30, same time. Goodbye.